Support for Exploring the American Spirit is provided by Sassy Shears, Riverside Salon, Spa, and Boutique, where clients can spend an hour or an entire day. Hair, nails, skincare, and massage for adults and children. More online at sassyshears.com.
Hello, I'm Mary Parks. American spirit. Say those words and many images come to mind. You may think of heroic acts in times of tragedy, a person or an entire family that overcomes adversity. In reality, selfless acts by ordinary individuals that help others take place every day in every part of our country. They aren't likely to make the headlines, but their impact is just as real, and the effect on our communities is just as powerful. At Exploring the American Spirit, we're going to take a look at some of the phenomenal accomplishments done by people who saw a need and found a way to meet it. I'll be your guide on this incredible journey, so pull up your chair and relax as we explore the American spirit. It's late afternoon when the children begin arriving for what will be peer-to-peer learning. Older students working with younger students is a proven method of tutoring that assists both academic and social development. It has been shown to be particularly effective in math and reading and for students with learning disabilities. Each girl or boy is paired with a tutor for one-on-one sessions in subjects they may struggle in most.
With the new Common Core curriculum, I can't help her with her homework anymore. So homework time was frustrating time for the both of us. So I brought her here, I talked to Lorna, and
Has it made a difference?
Yes, definitely, for sure. Victoria's her tutor, and Maddie loves her. I love her, she's great.
And what subject?
She does mainly math, but if there's extra time, we also do writing. So we work on her writing skills and her reading comprehension.
It's a story all too familiar for My Learning Studio founder Lorna Jenkins. She and husband Rich founded A Learning Outreach, a nonprofit organization to help families in just about any circumstance get one-on-one tutoring for their children. Lorna and Rich are prime examples of the American spirit, seeing a need and finding a way to meet it.
We're in private cubicles, like a horse that's running a race. They give them blinders on the side. That's what my cubicles are. So that way when the kids are sitting in there, they're able to concentrate one-on-one, not a group, not 3 other kids sitting with them. They get one-on-one tutoring. And you can't put a price on that. You just can connect with the kid quicker. You can learn the way that they need to learn, and then you just power on that and just make it work for that student.
Her tutors are college students working toward careers in teaching, mathematics, law, and medicine. Jenkins's program has helped roughly 2,000 students achieve academic success. Among them, Charlene Ayala, a quiet, reserved high school freshman being raised by her grandmother. She struggled in math until now.
It makes me feel like a better person, makes me feel like I could achieve my goal that I have.
Charlene's tutor is Bianca Sanchez, a college student, aspiring educator, and now mentor, making a difference in the life of a young girl in several ways.
I'm here through the work study program from Riverside City College, and because I'm work study, I get the opportunity to work with the students that are in the outreach program, meaning they have certain financial circumstances, meaning that they can't pay for the full price of tutoring. And through this program, I get to meet the most incredible kids that have great stories of why they're here, and that they really want to do well, that they don't have the support system they do at home, and they come here for support. And it's great. They share their stories with me, and they confide in me because they have someone to open up to. And one of my students, she looks at me like an older sister.
So you're a counselor too.
Something, yeah, honestly, something like that. If they, sometimes it's easier if you ask them, like, you know what, tell me about your day. That way it's easier for them to focus later on in the session, and it helps them a lot.
Across the room, Jenkins can't help but shed a few tears and calls this the best job ever.
I love kids, and I just have a way with them. God has given me this gift, and they can come in and be all grumpy and all like, I'm just like, oh, come on, chill out. Just give me one session, and they're out, and they love coming back time after time. Rarely does anybody not want to come back after one session.
The Learning Studio outreach often targets foster and homeless youth, a population Jenkins says that's often forgotten and can easily slip through the cracks. Adopted and court-appointed children also get help here.
Yes, I'm raising my grandson. I was ordered by the court. The court gave custody because his parents were involved with drugs. And he suffers some HDD, and he just has trouble concentrating. His reading's fine, but math, he just had trouble retaining it. And then with this new math and the way they move on in school, he was just getting further and further behind. And I tried to explain things to him, and he just didn't grasp it.
Did you think as a grandparent you'd be parenting all over?
No, I did not. It's the first thing in my mind too. I got that first call. His parents were being arrested, and Wyatt was going to be picked up at Child Protective Services.
George Purchase counts himself among the very fortunate. His son stayed clean and finished college with an engineering degree. His memories, though, remain painful.
Yeah, it took him 15 years.
How old is he?
He's 38. That's what he told me. When he told me he was 15 years behind everything, where he should have been.
Right, but look at him now.
Yeah.
Wow, good deal.
I remember one time I told him about I choke up, really do. I don't know why, but I do.
It's because it's your son and your grandson, that's why. But look where
I thought I
your
would get
son
over it
is.
by now, but I don't. I remember one time I told him, please do me a favor, carry my name and telephone number. So when they find you on a bridge dead, you know who to call.
Though difficult to hear, it's stories of adversity and determination that motivates Jenkins to do more.
I love it. This is the best. Because the difference that you make in these children's lives, you know, I mean, so many of my staff, my tutors now, are my students are my tutors now. And then they become teachers. So we're making a difference in the world.
As a mother, she says her ambition to give back stems from her own struggles. She has dyslexia, a reading disorder, and attention deficit disorder, ADD. Jenkins admits aside from homework, she didn't read a book until age 21.
When I had my kids, I wanted the best for them. They are ADD, ADHD, and APD. APD is auditory processing disorder. And so my youngest one couldn't read. She couldn't even do the alphabet. She redid kindergarten. And then by the time she was in 3rd grade, she was still far below basic. She couldn't read, but she had great math. So then when I'm sitting there with the teacher and she's giving me her grades again, I'm just like, come on, what's wrong? What's wrong with her? She's smart, she can do her math. Why can't she read? So then they tested her and they found out she was auditory processing disorder. So what that means is she cannot just sit in a lecture. She has to always be writing notes. So kinesthetically, she's remembering what she's doing. She has to visualize while she's reading. So the books that she reads, she's gonna visualize them.
So what did you write after that?
Jenkins's daughter Haley now tutors and will one day be a teacher herself.
Kids that have these problems, they don't know how to deal with it. So we need to give them the tools that they need to learn the way they need to learn. And so that's what we do.
The organization has no salaried staff. It's simply run by Jenkins and a group of volunteers.
I have a parent right now just said, I can't tutor anymore. I just got laid off. I'm not going to be working for 3 months. I can give you discount tutoring so they can continue tutoring. We do all foster, adopted, and court-appointed children. They all get discount tutoring. So
How is that possible? Who's helping you?
How I get it is through the local universities and the colleges, they have work-study staff. Part of their financial packages is they get to work at my nonprofit. So I hire those students. Most of them, our minimum qualifications is they have to tutor all math to pre-calculus.
But as luck would have it, on the day we visited the outreach, the Assistance League Service Group delivered scholarships for 2 students, including Charlene Ayala.
Well, we have a check for you for 6 weeks of private one-on-one tutoring.
But students will tell you it's not just tutoring, but mentoring with encouragement as well.
My literature grade, it was like a C. I had to understand literature, but coming here, like reading more and like understanding, I passed last semester with 100%, and so yeah, and I'm passing this semester with 99.5.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Our kids are going to be so much smarter than we were when we graduated.
Hope and a positive outlook for the future, that's the American spirit. It's just after 5 o'clock in the evening. Candace Ransom is running a few miles before the sun goes down. Running holds a special place in her heart. It's something she did often with her son Lucas. At one time, both were competitive athletes. No parent expects a child to die before they do. But when the unthinkable happens, some find a positive way to channel their grief. That's the message Candace wants the world to know.
Well, Lucas, you couldn't miss him in a crowd. He always wore the brightest colors, and he just had a personality that would light up the room. He just made you feel good, whether it be a stranger, somebody that he didn't even know. He would make people feel really good. He loved children. He was not only a lifeguard, but he was a swim instructor, so the little kids really looked up to him, and he really enjoyed it. So I think that essence, children always, for some reason, I don't know if it was because his hair was so curly, that they would look up at him and, there's that fascination.
19-year-old Lucas Ransom was a student at UC Santa Barbara. After finishing final exams in October 2010, he phoned his mother to say he loved her and was off to catch a few waves with his roommate, a high school buddy.
He had called me, and he was so excited about that day. He just said, Mama, you wouldn't believe it's just the most gorgeous day. And so he was going to go out there. The waves were bigger. They'd been tracking the waves in really big storm, really big waves about an hour north of where he went to school up at Surf Beach. And so he basically said, yeah, I'm going to go in and I'll call you when I get out.
Not long after, Candace received the unbelievable call. 10 minutes after hitting the ocean, Lucas had been killed in a shark attack not far from shore. Lucas's death became a national news story.
They were out there. They'd only been out there, I think, for not more than probably 10 minutes or so, 15. His friend said that he caught the biggest waves, which, I knew he was doing what he loved. And so, yeah, his friend looked over, he heard him calling, and there, incredibly, was a 17-foot great white. And so it happened so quick that there really wasn't anything that he could do.
This is Ransom's bodyboard, a 13-inch chunk gone, bitten off by the shark. Authorities are trying to determine which kind of shark attacked Ransom. Experts say based on the injury and the shark's behavior, it is most likely a great white that may have mistaken Ransom for a seal. Great white sharks are often portrayed as some of nature's fiercest predators. Weighing up to 5,000 pounds, they are known to strike without warning. But their attacks are rare, 91 in the past 90 years in California, 13 of them deadly.
His best friend, he was so courageous. He swam over to Lucas, and he swam him ashore. In light of here, he'd just been right there where the attack happened, and he swam him to shore, and he tried to save his life, but he had his leg severed, and so there really wasn't anything that he could do. But So yeah, he was doing what he loved the most. You know, the ocean was very dear to him.
2 weeks after Lucas's death, Candace ran her first solo race, the Santa Barbara Half Marathon. It was a race she and Lucas had planned to run together. She finished 4th in her age group. Candace decided she would honor Lucas by continuing his generosity to others by founding Medals of Courage. To inspire and encourage children struggling with illness, Lucas often gave them his winning medals. In the midst of her own unimaginable pain, Candace found some measure of relief from her grief while creating meaning and hope for others.
It tugged on my heart to continue on where he left off when he shared his race medal. And so I just knew that this would be a beautiful way to continue on where he left off. And so I found that it has been very therapeutic for me. It wasn't intended that way, but it's a way that I have the ability to share these, that hundreds and hundreds of runners across the country have wanted to share their race medals and share their strength and their courage with these children. And it's a special way to let them know that there's a lot of people cheering them on, and it's been very, it's helped in the healing process, I think, for all of us.
Typical of the American spirit, one person's small act of kindness inspires others who join in, and soon the effort grows. Candace started collecting and donating marathon, half marathon, and triathlon medals to give to children in hospitals. To keep her son's memory alive, for most races, Candace dresses in outfits inspired by what Lucas wore: zebra stripes, cobalt blue face paint, and a touch of his favorite color, green.
There's been hundreds and hundreds of children that we shared them with, but I think as well as that, the parents, the family members, you know, you can see how much it means to them, and how when their children's faces light up, you know, that it makes a difference for them. But on the other hand, all the runners who have so generously donated these medals they've worked so hard for. And in some way, it's a way that I think they really feel really good about what they're doing, to be able to share kindness and share their strength and their courage with these children. And so in that sense, it's not only the children and their families, but it's also these runners who have been able to give back and to help to bring some hope and encouragement to these children, and to light up their hearts and with smiles, and make them feel good that other people are pulling for them.
Candace is inspired not only by Lucas, but by another son, Laramie, who died at birth. Her youngest son, Travis, is the one who encouraged her to run again.
And I leave some of these with the hospital so that they have them, so that they can give them out individually. This is like the Long Beach, Ironman, Surf City ones.
The medals are bright, colorful, and line her dining room. Candace wants to forge relationships with more hospitals to deliver her Medals of Courage.
More Ironman. I mean, there's just a slew of them. We've got some from the Navy SEALs from down in San Diego that I've gotten these from. Really incredible from some of these people who have shared them. I think, you know, some of these people I don't know, some of them have sent so many. It's really amazing that you know, that they worked so hard, and what this means to share these with these children.
Her mission is to share hope and kindness, especially to those facing a difficult journey. Candace packages each medal herself.
I've got all these boards that are in the back room that I cut up, and then what I do is I have these, and this is the message: may this Medal of Courage be a symbol of your courage and of the hundreds of runners cheering you on, sharing strength, hope, and courage. So what I do is that I'll glue these. I cut these out and glue these, and then I'll go ahead and attach these on here. And then if I have the rubber bands here, what do I do with my rubber bands? Well, basically I get a rubber band and I just wrap it around these, and then they're ready to go.
And that's what you give each child?
Mm-hmm. And then this, well, it's in different ways. These ones are ready for them when I'm not there to give them to them, because basically the children, we let them pick out their own medal when I have a whole rack. And it's hard because when I go to a place, I have all these medals, and just trying to figure out which ones I'm going to bring is something else. But then I come in the room and they're clanking all these medals, and then, you know, they're all colorful. And so I think it's really hard for them too, trying to pick out which one they really like, because there's so many. And so what I just try to tell them is, you know what, I don't know if you have a special, you know, color that you like, or because, and then I share where some of them come, some from Long Beach Marathon, some from triathlons, some from Ironman races. And so that's what I do, is I, you know, let them, and I share that about that the runners, that they just want to share their strength and their hope and their courage. Like this one here, this one, some from, you know what, there's been some incredible firemen from the from police and firemen games that they've donated some of their really neat medals as well.
Medals of Courage has reached athletes around the globe, not just runners wanting to give Candace their prize. On the day we visited with Candace Ransom, college student Lori Brown FaceTimed the Medals of Courage founder to donate her winning softball medals to the cause.
We're sitting here looking at these amazing medals of yours. Oh my gosh, wow. You've got some incredible medals here. I'm sure that each one of these has got to hold so much meaning, each one of these very, very special. And I can only imagine that when we share these with these little children, how they will light up their hearts and bring so many smiles.
That's great. I'm really glad to be able to give those to you.
Wow.
I'm really happy. I hope that they make the children smile.
They can't begin to compare to some of the challenges that some of these children go through, but I can only imagine that you've worked so hard for each one of these, and they will really light up these children's faces. And thank you so much, Lori. They are.
Oh, that's great. No problem. It's my pleasure.
And Lori, this is Mary Parks. Where are you?
I'm in Limerick, Ireland.
Oh, wow. You're across the world.
Yeah, I am.
Ireland, my favorite. That's my Lukey's favorite color, green. He loved green in Ireland, so no, that's a pretty neat place to be. Limerick? Wow.
Beautiful.
There's hundreds of runners out there that want to share their strength and their hope and their courage with these children, and that these medals that they've earned can't even compare to what these children are going through. But just to let them know that they're cheering them on, pushing them on in terms of, you know, that there is hope, and that let this be a symbol that when they're having a tough day, that let them know that, you know, that they can get through it somehow.
Her efforts have not gone unnoticed. The legacy she's created for her son will bring a top community honor. She decided to make her own gown for this special event, again, an extension of her son's love.
It's such a beautiful color. Why did you choose that color?
Well, the program is illumination as part of the theme, and the colors that they have are these colors, the colors of the sunset, and this really will embody the spirit of Lucas. Whenever I see the most beautiful sunsets, I think about him, and when we used to run along the dirt road and we'd see the sunsets, and these colors basically radiate just his energy and his spirit, these colors, and so it'll be really special. I'll feel like he's right there with me in my heart. So I think these kids that go through so much, that, you know, they're amazing children, they're really courageous, and they're really the champions.
Dressed in that stunning shade of cool pink, Candace Ransom was about to enjoy her Cinderella moment. Flanked by her husband, father, and brother, Candace walked into a black tie gala to receive top honors from a hospital as a hometown hero.
This is really a Cinderella moment for me. I can't begin to say how truly humbled and honored I am to be here, to be receiving this award, and I do. I will be accepting it on behalf of all the unsung heroes, as well as sharing this honor with those who have graced the inspiration for this, being my two sons that I've lost, God, and the courageous children and their parents who every day when I come walking through the hospital doors, they continue to inspire me.
The Ransom family has also given back to the community by founding the Lucas Ransom Memorial Scholarship. helping UC Santa Barbara students pursuing a chemistry degree like their son had hoped for.
It only seemed a natural way that when we did end up doing this program and beginning it and sharing these medals, that it would be with children, because he really loved children, and this is the way that he could continue on, where he always wanted to make a difference in people's lives, and his life was cut short, but he's been able to touch so many lives, and it is beautiful.
To date, more than 10,000 medals of courage have been donated and given to children and families in hospitals across the state. Lucas Ransom is no doubt smiling at the continuing generosity of the American spirit.
We hope you felt the time you invested in watching today's story was worthwhile. It's a privilege for us to bring you these examples of the American spirit. Some will touch and inspire you more than others, but they all in their own way contribute to the fiber and well-being of our communities. We are humbled by the people we meet and are always amazed at what they can accomplish, often by mere grit, determination, and perseverance. That's the American spirit. Join us next time for another stop on our journey exploring the American spirit. I'm Mary Parks.